It is Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. Central. It is truly an honor to have you guys here. We're going to wait and watch these drivers finish up the free practice session around Hungaroring as we enter into round 5 here for Season 5. Ladies and gentlemen, as we watch the drivers get ready to get going here, let's take a look. Looks like qualifying has started. The drivers are rolling out, ladies and gentlemen. We are riding along with Michael Randall here, and let's try to get going here and get on to some of these faster drivers, ladies and gentlemen, as we see Christopher Schuffler, welcome back, good sir, in the GTMR livery Porsche. Him and Alex are doing both rocking the black Porsche GTMR Porsches, and there you see the other one in the background of Alex are doing, followed by Casey Bennett. The triple Porsches are rolling out, and it is looking super fine here at the Hungaroring. Definitely track limit is going to be the tough one for these drivers. These guys are definitely going to be trying to do everything that they possibly can to get a valid lap here as they make their way around the Hungaroring circuit. So it is definitely going to be an interesting one, to say the least. Look nice and tight by Christopher Schuffler, and we are just getting out on the starting part of this. And we still have 18 minutes and a half 18 and a half minutes to go. We have 20 drivers here in the very treacherous track that we call the Hungaroring, which is definitely a painstaking one that's going to push all these drivers here. And we've actually got 5 Porsches in this series today. We've got Schuffler, Arduin, Casey Bennett, Andre Lloyd, as we see Christopher Schuffler. He's going to allow the 2 faster Porsches ahead of him by. He doesn't want to hold them up based on their lap times, so maybe he's going to try to check up right behind them. So right now, the gentleman who gave you the hot lap on Instagram, we're going to follow him along with him on his provisional pole lap. He's going to be in the Porsche, Mr. Alex Arduin. nice and super tight through, then coming into sector 2, running super wide. Thank you for the follow, Jake Johnson. Welcome. We know you had some wheel issues. Hopefully we can see you back up on track. I believe you got that new Moses system. It'll be definitely interesting to see how you do with the Moses system as we're watching Alex are doing, looking super nice and tight. There, didn't invalidate. Right now, provisionally says 1.8. Casey behind him, 8 seconds ahead. Shuffler up 2. So here they will be rolling in as he's coming up to the fast right-hander into the double hairpins of this track here as he comes down nice and tight. Yeah, beautiful shot as he hooks it around. Here he comes through. He's about to cross the line, ladies and gentlemen. What can he do? What is the provisional time? Ooh, he invalidated, ladies and gentlemen. Shuffler with the only valid lap time. Ada Hasbrock with provisional of a 1:43.9. Shuffler 1.9 off the pace of him as well. Andre Lloyd coming out of the final corner in the Porsche. The Pac-Man Porsche. Here he goes. What can he set as he's about to cross the line? Lloyd going 1.1. Tyler Pedora, I apologize. Pedora in the Aston Martin. He is a new driver. Came from our Xbox series here. Definitely getting a little bit of a taste of the PC world. Coming down into turns 3 and up to 4 here. Looking, 2, 3, and 4 complex here. Looking super racy. Definitely a huge shout out to him. Bruce Hopkins right behind him, 2.5, 5/10 behind Pedora. As we watch some of these other drivers, Alex are doing still 1.3 seconds up on his time going through sector 2. His last time was a 1:43.8, and he's up 1.5 seconds. Can he throw it in the 42s? The only, ooh, that's going to be an invalidation, but is it going to keep it? Looks like it's going to keep it. He does, his sector time is not fallen off, which is an interesting thing. 43s. I believe high 42s is in the realms of the super fast. So let's see what he can do as he comes around here in the couple last hairpins. He must have been validated because there's no way he's still up 2.3 on his lap time as he makes the bender up. Full T into P2, 1/10 off of him. He goes super wide. Does he get the lap that he wants? Nope, that would have been a 43.7, so he still invalidates. Casey Bennett still invalidation, still has yet to set a lap time. Jaden Munoz, ooh, he slots into P3, almost a full 2/10 right behind Aiden Hasbrock. So a lot of these faster drivers not having a lot of issues. Here comes the NSX of Mohammed Irfan, the winner of last week's race at Zolder. He is looking super pacey here in the NSX. He was sitting there provisional pole during the practice session. That's practice. In the race, you got to turn it up. Jake Johnson in the chat says, won't be until the Nuremberg, unfortunately, because of the shipping. Hey, man, that's perfectly fine. At least you get a spectacular view of seeing how the streaming goes down and cheer on your fellow drivers. As our do-it dives in the pits, Josh Piasek is in the pits in that McLaren. He's going to be waiting it out before he goes out. A lot of these other drivers are doing his back out here. As we take a look, let's see what Irfan can do. Ooh, he's slowing it up as he's going to have Andy Ali right behind him. Andy Ali on his flyer as he's coming around the final corner. So Irfan's definitely going to need to push and get out of the way there. Here comes Andy Ali, stretching it out wide. What can he do as he's about to... Looks like he invalidated his lap as well. Andrew Jaschke 5/10 through the curb and catching the curves there in that beautiful BMW there. One of the few cars other than the Bentley that says, hey, I don't mind curves. As he comes through, James Park slot himself P12 right now in that. With that lap time, 3.9 off provisional pole, 1.4 off the pace of Hopkins. As we see Michael Randall in the Porsche, he is manages to make it in. He couldn't make it in at Zolder, but he is at Hungaroring right now, 2.198 off the pace. So we're seeing a very nice spread out of these drivers here in this qualifying session as they work their way through the grid. Here comes Andrew Jaschke, 1.5 what can this do for him? Looks like he caught a little too much curb at some points and fallen off the pace as he gets onto the main straight. This should be valid, ladies and gentlemen, and it does. Puts P7 1/10 back behind LaRock in P6 in that beautiful AMG. As we jump back to Earthfan, he is 2 seconds up on his time coming through Sector 2. He's going to have James Parks in front of him into Sector 3. James Parks is on a flyer as well. So Earthfan's going to have to work his magic to see what he's going to do. He's probably going to lose a lot of time here in the final couple corners. But hey, every driver has their right on the track to set a fast lap here. Here they go. Earthfan going super wide, trying to get a beautiful run out of that final corner. He's going to lose about 1.5 with that Honda. Can he get it? Boom, P7. 7/10 off the pace of Aiden Hasbrock. As we see, Casey Bennett slots himself P4, 3/10 off the pace of the provisional pole sitter. So let's take a look. Cole Bennett in the other Bentley. Here, he's 6/10 off the pace on his time. Last lap, he did a 1:48.380. So 7/10 right there should slot him a little closer to James Parks in that P15 spot as he works his way around the grid. Alex Arduin still up 1.1. Jake Johnson says in the chat, rooting for everyone, going to be excited with the Xbox guys and the track limits, looking forward. Yes, that is definitely, I believe the Xbox guys starting Sunday will be at Silverstone, so that'll be an amazing opening season opener for them as well as they go through. As we see Cole Bennett, I apologize, working his magic around here. Down at the bend, Alex Arduin still trying to figure something out here with that GTMR Porsche all the way back there. All the drivers trying to work their way through. Wilson Fernandez, P9. So right now, going down the grid, your provisional pole sitter, Aiden Hasbrock, P1. Fulte, P2. Jaden Munoz, P3. Casey Bennett, P4. LaRock, P5. Andre Lloyd. As Cole Bennett does not look like he updated his time very well. Alex Arduin sitting in the pits. He's not doing a whole lot right now there. And Louis Bernard, the P19 driver in that Mercedes-Benz, coming through here down into turns 2 and coming up to 3. You see that back tire kick up in that Mercedes-Benz as he works his way around. By the way, huge shout out to all the viewers that are coming out to watch this race series with us. Definitely awesome to see you guys here. Louis Bernard looking super strong. And he left his blinker on. What a nice driver to let everybody know that he's making a right-hand turn in a right-hand corner. As we come through here, he comes up to the chicane. Let's see how much curbing he uses for the Mercedes. He doesn't use a whole lot, actually. As LaRock is going to be sitting in the pits. Seems like he's done there. Looks like Louis got a little bit of a tail step out in that Mercedes-Benz, so hopefully he can kind of refigure out what his pace is that he needs to do. Cole Bennett is now up 1.3 seconds right behind him in that teal Bentley there. And you see Andy Ollie in that black McLaren as well. Ooh, Louis Bernard losing the back end. Cole Bennett is definitely trying to figure out what to do. Louis Bernard is going to pull off there and try not to get in the way. There goes Cole Bennett and Andy Ollie. Andy Ollie is on a flyer. He's caught up to that Bentley that slowed up. Ooh, Cole Bennett is power sliding in the corner. That is definitely really tricky there. Onto the front straight they go. Cole Bennett's looking a little, he lost 4/10 on his time. Andy Ollie's going to have to try to figure out something with Cole Bennett's little power slide there as we go through here. Let's take a look at the grid order. Wilson Fernandez in that Mercedes AMG. He's sitting there P4. 2/10 off the pace of Aiden Hasbrock. Alex Arduin still has yet to set something. As we see Earthfan back in P9. You have a yellow flag on the track. Do not see where it's at. Looks like that is done. Let's take a look. Who we got as a big mover on? Tyler Pedora in the Aston Martin. He is 3/10 up on his time. That'll allow him to catch up to Andre Alex Afonso in that P11. That Lexus 999. That 3/10 will separate himself from Michael Randall in that Porsche as they work their way through. And looks like we have a little bit of a Nope, we're good. With the drivers on the grid as Andy Ali has dove into the pits. He's probably trying to set himself up to have a good spot. 210s. It improves him. He got that 210s. Now he's only 2.5 off provisional pole. This track is definitely pushing people to their limits as Irfan now sets the fastest lap at a 143 flat. And Jaden Munoz slots himself P2, leapfrogging Ada Hasbro by .002 from that Bentley. So that's definitely going to be an interesting one. Let's take a look at can Alex Arduin make something happen here. He's 1.6 up off on his time, but this track is just menacing to the Porsche here, everybody. He just cannot figure out a way to get a good lap time. Hopefully he can figure something out as we see, looks like Louis Benara slots himself P16 in that Mercedes-Benz. He was able to find himself, but your championship leader, Alex Arduin, if he cannot figure something out, it's going to just definitely help out Irfan, Munoz, and Hasselbrock, as well as Folty and Fernandez to take that championship fight to Alex Arduin, which is definitely going to be an interesting one, to say the least. And can he cross the line? He slots himself P2, ladies and gentlemen. 4/10 off the pace of Irfan, and he's got clean track, and he's got actually Irfan in front of him going through that turn 1, coming down to turn 2. So giving the Porsche driver a little bit of competition to push themselves. The only driver that has yet to set a time is Andy Ali himself. He's going to have Andre Alex Afonso right behind him, so he's going to be working his magic here in that McLaren to see what he can do. Deleted Fox, welcome to the chat. It's truly an honor to have you here. I hope you're having a wonderful start to your weekend, as Andy Ali is going to allow Andre Alex Afonso right now, this driver that we're waiting for, to see what he can do. Can he put himself in practice? He was looking super strong. He was in the top 15 with that McLaren. Can he set that up and make it stick some more here at Hungaroring? That is definitely going to be the answer that we all would like to know, as Irfan is a yellow in Sector 2. He's definitely trying to get that NSX turned around there, as we can see that as the 88 of Wilson Fernandez has jumped right back to the pits. Here comes Andy Ali on the front straight. This is going to start his flyer, everybody. Here he goes down the front straight in this McLaren. The interesting part about the McLaren in this game, for those that do not know, is super tight, and it's very well balanced, but when you want to go fast with it, the knife edge on it is just all over the place. But it is such a good, like, the car is just amazing, except for the brakes, in my opinion. But I've been told if you can figure out how to brake with it, it brakes amazingly. As we see Jake Johnson, the GTMR livery looks amazing. It does look amazing. It looks phenomenal. And Deleted Fox says, you too, thank you, sir, thank you, or she, thank you. As Andre Alex Afonso moves out of the way for Andy Ali, because he knows Andy Ali has yet to set a time. Thank you, sir. Gentleman driving there. Andy Ali is utilizing all the curves in the McLaren to go through this track. So at least if he can set a provisional time, that's all that matters. He's up 4/10 provisionally on what he has tried to set before. So that's definitely good. So he is going faster, ladies and gentlemen. So 5-10. Ooh, he went super wide. Did that invalidate it? He's going to have probably about 2 more laps left in this qualifying session in order for him to go faster. Here he goes in that McLaren around the first hairpin, coming up to the second hairpin. Nice tight line. Onto the front straight, super wide, cuts back so he doesn't invalidate. Sets a time, puts a P. Ooh. So he did a 145.6. So 145.6, ladies and gentlemen, would put him in between 13 and 14. So he's going to have to try to make something happen. He's going to try to let the Lexus through and check up right behind that Lexus of Andre Afonso. So we're going to jump back up a grid as Alex Arduin's 4/10 as he crosses the line. What is... Does it? He leapfrogs Irfan. .042, ladies and gentlemen. The Honda of Irfan has been knocked out, but there's still 2 minutes left to go. 2 minutes, everybody. Irfan can take that away. Right now, he's partially growing as we see Arduin dives back into the pits, probably goes through a fresh set of tires, drops the car, pulls out. The 12 car is having issues. Look like it's spun. That was Louis Bernard. He's sitting back into the pits. He's still sitting P16. Let's take a look. Who else is a big mover right now? Tyler Pandora onto the front straight, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize. What can he do? He slots himself P12, leapfrogging Andre Alex Afonso. Huge shout out to him in his performance. And Irfan is up 2 tenths, going through sector 2, coming up to the chicanes section. Here he goes through, nice and tight. Ooh, he bobbled it a little bit, lost a tenth there. Ooh, he lost a lot of time. He's gonna have to make up a lot more as he comes through in the 404. Here he comes. As we see Wilson Fernandez slotting himself P3, 6/10 back from the provisional pole sitter of Alex Arduin full T. P4, Aiden Hasbrock, P5, Jaden Munoz, P6, Casey Bennett, 7, LaRock, P8, Andre Lloyd, I apologize, P9, Andrew Jashke, P10. Here he comes through up to the final corner in the NSX. He's going to go for the wide approach. Can he hold it in? He's off 4/10 on his time. See any bigger movers that we've got here? Joshua Piaski in that golden McLaren. Welcome, sir. This is his first race here at GT Meister Racing. He is up 2/10 right now on his time. He's trying to hunt down Louis Bernard, who is right behind him in that Mercedes-Benz AMG, and we have a billboard in our way. As we go through, Andy Ollie still has yet to set a time. Ooh. So we see Joshua Piaski losing a little bit. Andy Ollie 2/10 off of his time. So either way, based on what he originally provisionally set up, he was still looking super strong. Where are you, Andy Ollie? Here you go. The number 64 car of Andy Ollie down into the brakes, hooking this fast right-hander. Can he leapfrog a few people with qualifying over? The fastest driver on the track right now is Jaden Muniz. He's up 4/10, but Andy Ollie still has yet to set a time. Let's see what Andy Ollie, he's going to dive into the pits. Jaden Muniz up 4/10, Aiden Hasbrock up 2/10. See where Jaden can get him. Can he leapfrog these other drivers in front of him and get into that top podium spot? Onto the front straight. He does, slots himself P3. Full T coming through. He is in sector 2 right now. Coming up to the chicane section in that BMW. Not using a lot of that curbing, but he's still up 2/10. That 2/10 can leapfrog Munoz. Let's take a look. Louis Bernard is up 4/10. Where is Louis in all of this? He's actually right in front of Full T. He still has the blinker on, ladies and gentlemen. He comes through up to the first hairpin, and then he's going to hit the second hairpin. Full T is not, his time is not improving. Louis Bernard does improve, but not that much. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. There is your qualifying session as we see Louis Bernard completely destroy the braking marker there for everybody to see. Huge shout out to all the drivers and everybody participating. And there is your provisional pole sitter, Alex Arduin, in the Porsche, the 51 Porsche, everybody. Huge shout out to him. We are going to be waiting for everybody to jump back into the grid. And your top 3 is Alex Arduin, Mohammed Irfan, and Jaden. So we're going to do our lovely track edition of driving around the grid. We're going to go down the grid, ladies and gentlemen, and take a look at everybody. So here we go through the car, and we are a ghost today. So, and there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, your grid for Season 5 round 5, season 5 of the Hungaroring. I'm your host, Exia. Let's work our way down the grid. Your pole sitter, Alex Ardoin in the GTMR Porsche, followed by Mohammed Irfan in the Honda NSX, followed by Jaden Munoz in the Audi, then Wilson Fernandez in that beautiful purple Mercedes AMG, followed by Fulte in that beautiful BMW, followed by Aiden Hasbrock in that beautiful green Bentley. Casey Bennett bringing in the red Porsche, followed by LaRock in the Mercedes-Benz, with Andre Lloyd in the Pac-Man Porsche. He's looking super strong there in that P9 spot, with Andrew Jaschke in the BMW. Not something where he wanted to be, but he's happy for the results with all the issues he was having. Christopher Schuffler in the other black GTMR Porsche, looking super strong, bringing himself into P11. Andre Alex Afonso, the only Lexus driver, looking super strong, manages to bring it in P12. Tyler Pedora, the Xbox driver that switched over to PC for this race, looking nice and strong in the Aston Martin. Definitely have to take a look at what his full race performance is. Followed by Michael Randall in that Amtrak Porsche. He's definitely looking racy. Of course, race pace versus qualifying pace is two different things. Then we have Bruce Hopkins in that beautiful red, white, and silver chrome looking Aston Martin, so we'll definitely have to keep an eye on him. He's usually a good front runner, but he looks like he's fallen out. Louis Benara in that Mercedes-Benz. He has the pace, but can he reel it in together? And then we have Jonathan Piast in that gold McLaren, his first race with us. He's going to be looking super strong, I feel, in that backpack to work his way up. James Parks in P18, rocking that blue and red color scheme to let people know, hey, look, this is my car. Cole Bennett in the golf liveried style Bentley. He's looking nice and strong here as well. It's his first time at Hungaroring, so definitely be an interesting one to see where he comes out. And then we have Andy Ollie, ladies and gentlemen, in that P20 spot, everybody. So that's definitely going to be an interesting one to see where his pace was. He was looking provisionally in that P13 to P14 spot. The counter is going down, and we are going to be jumping into the full formation lap, everybody. Let's jump into the chat and see what is going on. Here we have Kat saying insert Jordan Belfort me for the brake marker here for the takeout there. Mr. Cat, I hope all is well. I wish you and your family nothing but best for this weekend as we watch these drivers roll out. The interesting thing that I will say about this track and with how everything was, how everybody raced and performed, was on Wednesday when we did our practice race. For those that would like to join us, definitely come out and take a look at take a look and join us on Wednesdays. We do a practice race of the race, or we'll do a pub event where we'll go to things. But during that event, we also found out the track limit is definitely going to be an interesting one for these drivers. Alex Ardoin is definitely worried about it, as well as Casey Bennett is worried about it. But most likely even the front runners, we saw them invalidating their laps all the time. And to back that up, we also see T Farmer 33 degrees going to be a spicy grip to test discipline with track limits and pushing. That is completely correct, Farmer. The track limits are going to be a crazy one. This race may be the one where a lot of these back markers are going to be in positions. I wouldn't say back markers. The drivers in the back of the field are going to be in positions to score maximum amounts of points for this championship battle. And it's definitely going to be an interesting one, to say the least. And it's going to be a tough one for these faster drivers, because if they're pushing the limits and they're getting drive-throughs, this is not going to help them as they go through, as we watch these drivers all warming up their cars, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at an honorable mention. Let's see, we have Tyler Pedora looking super strong. He's a big mover. Christopher Schuffler, he was playing dirt rally. He could move up a big chunk Sprightly in the chat. Come on, Tyler. Make good luck to everyone. Thank you for joining us as well. Carbonado says the track sucks. That's why I'm not racing. It's not the track, it's the driver. I'm just messing with you, but the track is definitely a very tough one. Kat says, go Boatley. Yes, go Boatley for the Bentley driver as the drivers are starting to line up. And we'll definitely see how everybody plays out here in this race. This is definitely going to be a tough one right now this whole season. It's been Porsche versus NSX with the Audi. Can the Japanese-powered machinery take on the power of the German army? Because right there you have it. You have Porsche, Audi, Mercedes, BMW all around that Honda. But can the Honda definitely showcase its pace like it did in Zolder, ladies and gentlemen, as we watch the drivers work their way down the grid? Here goes Alex Arduin at the start. Green, green, green. We are away to go. Oh, Josh Piastri gets a drive-through at the start of the race. Oh, what a shame there. The Audi driver, Jaden Munoz, is looking at it down into turn. We got a 3 wide as these drivers work their way down into the turn. Looks like possibly someone got spun in the background there. Looks like Wilson Fernandez lost out there as Alex Arduin is working his way down the grid. This isn't what a lot of the drivers wanted to see. Now Porsche. Ooh, looks like Irfan got swamped up there at the start of the race. The 937 of... Who is it? 937 of Andre Lloyd got spun. Here they go through the fast left as they're working their way through the track. I am definitely trying to keep up with everybody, so I apologize if I'm bouncing around. Andrew Jaschke getting attacked by Andre Alex Afonso. Michael Randall here as they go through with the front runners. Alex Arduin trying to separate himself from Fulte without getting a drive-through as they work their way through the grid. So one of the big movers and losers here looks like Christopher Shuffler and Casey Bennett were the big losers, and Andre Lloyd falling back all the way to the back. But the race is still new. These drivers can make up their ground here in this race as they go through. Nice and tight as they go through at the start. Alex Arduin trying to separate themselves. Fulte looking super strong. Here they come through and around the bend onto the main straight. That Porsche now separating himself 0.6 of a lap. Jaden Munoz now trying to reel in that BMW. Wilson Fernandez falling back. Mohammed Irfan taking a look on the inside while the Bentley driver covers up over it. There goes Andre Alex Afonso down on the inside of Andrew Jaschke. Super late on the brakes. Can Jaschke pull the switch back on him? He's now going to have the outside coming up. Here we go, down onto turns 2 here. Side by side. Oh, Jaschke tries to close the door. And looks like Andre was like, yeah, that's not happening. And there's Andy Ollie, your big mover up there, up to P10. Andy Ollie in the P10 in that McLaren, looking super strong. What did I tell you guys, ladies and gentlemen? He was looking super racy in qualifying, but could not set that lap up that he did. Michael Randall definitely yeeting over that corner there. And now here comes Andy Ollie. Andrew Jaschke is covering it. Ooh, is Andy Ollie going to send it? He is. He's going to check up right behind that BMW driver in that P9 battle fight here. And we're going to slap right back up to the front of the grid as we work their way through. Alex Arduin, Fulte, Munoz, Fernandez, Irfan, Hasbrock, Larocque, Fonzo, Jaschke, Ali, Randall, Bennett, Benara, Pedora, Parks, Piastri, Hopkins, Shuffler, Bennett, and Lloyd all looking super racy. We're going to drop back down into this back of the grid area and take a look. Here we have Shuffler with Casey Bennett in front of him. He's going to slot Casey Bennett through as Joshua Piastri. Here goes Casey Bennett down on the inside of Joshua Piastri, but Piastri's going to have the inside line, but the acceleration of the Porsche gets him out of the corner a little bit faster. Here goes Piastri. He's going to cover up a little bit, but Piastri's going to have to serve that drive-through here shortly as Casey Bennett sends it up on the inside of the McLaren driver in the back. We are fully battling it all the way around the grid, everybody. Here comes Shuffler. Shuffler looking super racy out of that final corner. He's going to get the maximum drag down this frontage straight. Here comes Piastri. Piastri's looking. He doesn't know what he really wants to do, as it looks like Bruce Hopkins shoots it out super wide. Bruce Hopkins having a little bit of an issue there on track as well. Andy Ollie is all over the back end of Andrew Jaschke here. And we're going to switch back. Here comes Shuffler. He's going to take a look. He's going to send it on the inside. Bruce Hopkins switching it around. Bruce Hopkins on the outside looking in with Andre Lloyd in the back there, definitely trying to figure out what's going to happen here. Here we have the drivers as they work their way through. Super racy as they come through that the chicane area. As we see Casey Bennett working his way through. Michael Randall, he's looking super racy, but it looks like he's also fallen off the pace. Irfan now on the back end of Wilson Fernandez here with Aiden Hasbrock on the back end as they chase him down. 1, 2, 3 in a pack. 4, 5, 6 is in a pack, everybody. 7, 8, and 9 seem to be a little bit of separate. Andy Ollie having a little bit of issue, while now Andy Ollie is now on getting maximum attacked by Michael Randall here. Well, looks to be, but it looks like he's fallen off a little bit. Tyler Pedora with Louis Benara and Cole Bennett there in this fight. Louis Benara getting a little twitchy in that Mercedes-Benz. Question is, did he figure out how to turn off his blinker? He did. Everybody, congratulations to the BMW driver. Surprisingly knew how to turn it on and turn it off as well. As they come through the final corner, we watch the Aston Martin driver hold off the Mercedes-Benz driver onto the main straight as they go through. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Casey Bennett is working his way past James Parks. Casey Bennett is as Josh Piastri. Now here comes Louis Bernard. Benara looked on the inside, wanted to fake out Tyler. Tyler going super wide. That's going to allow Louis Benara to squeeze past. Possibly side by side they go down into turn 2. Here comes the Mercedes and the AMR driver. The AMR driver holds off, but now we have a charging Casey Bennett as he's trying to push as fast as he can to reach past everybody. Casey Bennett trying to make something stick. Louis going to try it on the outside, coming up to turn 4. Heavy on the brakes. Tyler having to catch himself. Ooh, that was definitely an interesting one, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look. Is this battle developing? It is not, but now Andrew Jaschke is taking the battle to Andre Alex Alfonso as they work their way through the grid. And we see Jake Johnson say he ran out of blinker fluid. I bet probably Casey got spun out in turn 1, lap 1, and got T-boned. Thank you, Carbonado, the track reporter here for GTMR when he's not racing. As we see the BMW driver as they work their way through. And now let's jump down and take a look at Irfan on the back end. The Honda Power versus the Mercedes-Benz here. It looks like that Mercedes is having a little bit of issue with Irfan as they come through, as we see Aiden Hasbrock in that Bentley trying to make something happen here as they get onto the front straight. Jaden Munoz is definitely holding off. He's trying to pull off something on Fulte as they work their way down. We're going to jump back. Here comes Irfan looking on the inside. Checks up, checks out. There's Lacroix in the background, working his way down the grid. Wilson goes super wide. He's got to watch how he enters in. Here goes Irfan on the outside, coming up to turn 3. Now we're going to see Fernandez checks up right behind him. Now here comes Aiden Hasbrock taking a look on the inside of Wilson Fernandez. Ooh, side by side they go. Ooh, a little bit of a tap there. Aiden Hasbrock, a little bit of a blind spot on the Bentley there in that A-pillar there as he works his way through the Hungaroring. The question is with the damage, who's going to pit early, who's going to pit late? We also have Andre Lloyd. He's on the back end of Bruce Hopkins in this battle. As we go through here, Jaden Munoz still in that battle. The 3/10 the lap times right now. Fastest lap, Alex Ardoin with a 43.692. P2 did a 44.2 as their fastest lap. P3 did a 43.8. P4 did a 44.8. So right now the front runners are all sitting in the 44s and 43s. Everybody else is 45s, 6, and 7s here at the start of this race. Here as we watch Aiden Hasbrock still all over the back end of him. We're going to shot up to Jaden Munoz and see where he is all over the back end of Fulte, and they are through the hairpin. He is putting the pressure on the BMW driver. Can he sustain it? Now let's jump back down by Andrew Jashke and Andy Ollie. Andy Ollie, one of your big movers, had issues at the start of qualifying, couldn't get a good solid time in, and now he slotted himself up into P10. Jashke saying, hey, next season I'm looking at doing the Aston V8, having a little bit of issues, but here comes Andy Ollie. Can he take the fight to his good friend? Let's jump down the grid here. Let's take a look. Where is Casey Bennett? Louis Benara, Casey Bennett. We have a four-way battle. This is for P11. P12, Carter Bennett. Here comes Louis Benara down on the inside of Cole Bennett. Cole Bennett now covering it. Just trying to get him to flex and change up his run style. Cole Bennett goes super wide. Here comes Casey Bennett right behind Louis Benara, side by side with Cole Bennett. Cole Bennett on the inside, covers it. Louis Benara is going to try a switchback, can't do it. Here comes Casey on the back end of Louis Benara as they work their way down the hill. Tyler Pedora he also has Christopher Shuffler in the background trying to work his way up. You can see a little bit of the wiggle out of that Porsche. Louis Benara covering the brakes the best that he possibly can here in the grid, going super wide. Cole Bennett trying to make something stick with this Bentley that he could not get set up in this whole entire race, ladies and gentlemen. As we see Louis Benara trying to flex and fake out Cole Bennett. Louis Benara utilizing all the curbing there in through the second sector in the chicanes here, as now it's going to allow Tyler Pedora to catch up to the back end of Casey Bennett. Now Louis Benara now getting attacked by Casey Bennett. Here comes Casey Bennett on the inside. Louis Benara shuts the door on Casey Bennett in the red Porsche as they work their way around onto the small back straight here. Yes, wrong Bennett, I know. I'm working on it. As Casey Bennett, now Louis Benara on over the back end of Cole Bennett. Casey Bennett, there's too many Bennetts. Now all I need is Carter Bennett to be racing as well. As we see Cole Bennett, Casey Bennett now trying to figure out what to do with Louis Benara, which now I'll call Louis Bennett, as they come through into the final corner. Here comes Casey Bennett in the Porsche trying to utilize that amazing launch out of the corners. Cole Bennett kind of cover the drift. Here comes Louis Benara down the main straight. He's got the toe from the Bentley. He's going to go to the right. Cole Bennett covers the inside down into the heavy braking. Here they go. Casey Bennett's going to use all the acceleration with the red Porsche. Louis Benara going super wide. Here they go down into turn 2. Louis Benara is going to cover it over Casey Bennett, but there is Tyler Pedora there, still on the back end of. I'm going to lose my voice, and it's only 48 minutes in, just to let everybody know. Here comes Casey Bennett on the back end of Louis Benara as everything is played out. We're going to quickly jump up front real fast as we see Jaden Munoz. He's now got Irfan all over the back end of him. This is Zolder all over again, but reversed. The Honda owner on the Audi owner as this battle up front is now starting to develop for P3 in the podium spot. As they go through, Jake Johnson says, but Bennett versus Bennett versus Bennett versus Bennett. Honestly, I'm getting to the point of just saying Bennett versus Bennett versus Bennett. Now we see Irfan utilizing that ability of what he can do. Now the question is, can the NSX keep the tires in optimum shape to battle it out against these drivers here as well? Farmer says battle is trash, front looks close. I'm gonna not say what I want to say. All right, as we see the Irfan now battling it out with Jaden Munoz with Fulte there in the background. As we can start to see, they are separating themselves. We're going to jump back down the grid here and watch the battles that actually matter here with Cole Bennett. He has now got Casey Bennett past him, Louis Benara. This is a 5-way battle in the back of this grid here with Casey, Cole, Louis, Tyler. Now Tyler's going to make the move on Louis Benara down on the inside here. Here they go. Ooh, Tyler overshoots the corner. That's going to allow Shuffler through. Oh, Cole Bennett loses a little bit of the back end there as he catches the grid order. So that's now going to separate everything as they go through here. What an interesting spice up. Now that's going to allow Andre Lloyd through here. Now Christopher Shuffler on the back end of Louis Benara as this battle is going to develop here in this order here. This track is definitely a tough one to see how these drivers definitely are going to succeed here, as we see Irfan still has the fastest lap, and he's all over back of Jaden Munoz. We're going to see here as we see Christopher Shuffler on the back end of Louis Benara as they go through. We're going to switch up to the front here in a second just to see, can Christopher Shuffler make something happen? It does not look like. Ooh, Louis Benara's losing the back end. He's driving it too strong through here as they go through here. Can Shuffler make it stick? Ooh, doesn't look like he's going to make it stick here. We're going to switch back up with Irfan. Irfan, looks like we have Irfan, Munoz, and Fulte in the same grid separation here in this race. Hasn't really developed a whole lot here in the series here, as we see Pedora has dropped back, Cole Bennett has dropped back, Bruce Hopkins has dropped back. Joshua Piaski is trying to reel him in as we see, it looks like Cole and Louis with a let's take a look, and Andrew Jaschke and Andy Ollie now are starting to develop and grow a battle. We're going to switch it over here, and now here's the three-way battle for P8 with Andy Ollie, your big mover, the driver who was not able to set a time in qualifying. He works his way down the hill. He's going to have Andrew Jaschke, a good friend of his, to battle with. The question is can he make it stick here as he goes through? Andrew Jaschke definitely holding off the charging McLaren driver of Andy Ollie with the Andre Alonso. Ooh, Jaschke gets a run on the Lexus. Catches the. Ooh, that was a little bit close there. He's going to allow Andre Afonso through to keep going. That is definitely that was a really interesting one, to say the least, as we see Louis Bernard now with Christopher Shuffler working his way through. Jaschke probably was trying to let him through with the tap on the back end there, as well as they go through here on the back end here, as we see Louis Benara and Christopher Shuffler working their way through. We're probably going to slide back up into the front of the grid here with Irfan and Munoz. Now Munoz takes it on the inside of Fulte. A little bit of a tap, a little bit of elbows out moment for Munoz. Now here comes Irfan, and there's Fulte as well. Side by side down into... Ooh, Fulte now covering the inside on Irfan as they work their way through turn 3 and 4. Here they come up the hill, and they drive in here looking nice and tight. And it looks like Wilson Fernandez lost it there into turn 4. Oh, he is definitely going to be feeling that one. The endurance race has begun. The pit window is open. The question is, who's going to dive into the pits and try to manage a good long recovery run, and that is going to be Cole Bennett is in the pits. He's going for the early strategy, ladies and gentlemen, as now the endurance part of this track is developing. Here, Irfan now still all over the back end of Munoz, as Alex Ardoin is solidifying his hopeful championship here, as he's now 4.4 seconds out in the front. Munoz still trying to make it stick here. Irfan now still all over the back end of him as they go through here. Let's take a look. We got Christopher Shuffler. Andy Ollie got past. Afonso. Randall still there. Got Casey Bennett. As we watch everybody and see how it all goes through here. Down into turn 1. Does Irfan make it? Ooh, Irfan looks like he's going to send it. Munoz leaving the door open. Here comes Irfan. Can he get past Munoz? Ooh, they're side by side into turn 3. Here they go, heavy on the brakes as they go through. Fulte's going to try to make it stick. Ooh, Irfan loses the back end a little bit. He's going to lose a little bit of pace, but here comes Fulte. As Carbonado says in the chat, Cole has damage. I'm pretty sure this is an unscheduled pit stop. It does. Now here comes Aiden Hasselbrock. He is going to be looking at possibly taking it to Fulte here in this race. They work their way up the grid. So now there is a massive battle for P2. 2 through 5 are now battling. Wilson Fernandez in the pits. Oh, now Cole Bennett gets a 30-second stop go. And here we go. Aiden Hasbrock looking on the backside of Fulte, trying to make it stick with Irfan, still trying to reel him in. Andrew Jaschke dives into the pits to fix a little bit of the damage as he works his way through. This is going to be an interesting one because Wilson Fernandez now is going to be leapfrogging a good set of drivers here as well. If I was Josh, I would actually try to get into that fresh air and separate himself. The leader's going to be catching Wilson Fernandez here shortly, so we're going to start seeing some blue flag. Ooh, down on the inside, Irfan sends it. Ooh, that one was a little bit of a risky move right there, ladies and gentlemen. And we see Farmer in the chat says 4 cars for second. This is going to be a mega with a pit stop tool too. Yes, it is definitely going to be mega. The question is who's going to want to play that card right for that pit stop? And then based on balance of endurance and track limits, who is pushing the limit of the track? And possibly that may get a thing. As we see a possible four-way battle with the Porsches, 9, 10, 11, and 12. We see Michael Randall, Casey Bennett, Christopher Shuffler, and Andre Lloyd now in a massive tussle in that mid-pack grid there of the Porsches there. And as we see Casey Bennett, we're going to drop down with them very shortly here. We're going to keep rolling with these guys here for a split second. We're going to jump along Casey Bennett with the damage he's got. The question is he going to jump into is he going to repair anything? He's looking strong in that top 10 there. Let's take a look. It doesn't look like where is Casey Bennett is sitting there. Looks like Michael Randall has separated himself in that P9, which is far ahead of him. Christopher Shuffler, Andre Lloyd, Louis Benara. This battle in the mid-pack is starting to develop as Louis Benara is starting to reel in Andre Lloyd in that Porsche. They go through as we're going to jump down with Aiden Hasselbrock as he is 3/10 behind Fulte for that P4 spot. Ooh, Louis looking nice and strong. These Porsches definitely have the grip. Louis Benara sends it down on the inside, trying to fake out Lloyd, trying to get that gap space to open. As Ichigo dives in the chat, says, let's go, Munoz. Let's go. Jaden definitely sitting in there P2, but he's getting pressured like crazy from the P3 driver of Mohammed Irfan. Aiden Hasbrock dragging the brakes hard into that fast left-hander turn there as they work their way through that Bentley driver and BMW driver being super respectful. Irfan trying to see what he can do. Ooh, as he cuts the corner there, overshooting his braking marker. His carbon says, never mind, just heard he almost spun. Ooh, what a shame there by Casey Bennett there, but still top 10. And based on the pit rotations, anything can happen here as we watch the Honda driver of Irfan. Thank you for the follow. I'm guessing that's Synergy. Thank you for the follow for the league. Definitely huge shout out to you for watching and following as well as we see the NSX owner taking this battle to the Audi. Now the question is what are these drivers going to do? We had 3 drivers pit. We're almost towards the halfway mark here in this race. Louis Benara on the back end of Andre Lloyd. Tyler Pedora, he's looking super strong in P14, aka Nightcrawler in the Xbox series as well. Let's take a look. Ooh, super late on the brakes as they go through here. Down into the final, nope, sorry, not the final. Down into turn 2. The Honda owner. The question is can his tires keep up with that? That's definitely going to be an interesting one. For the viewers in the chat, is there a driver that you'd like to see so far in this battle? Because right now, this battle for the top 4 places are all over themselves with the Bentley driver of Aiden Hasbrock utilizing all the grip he can around here. It's 4 car for second, 2s in the battles of the second. It's very spicy rack by Farmer in the chat. It is crazy that this is happening. And now Munoz is starting to reel in Alex Arduin in this series. He's cut out 4/10 on Alex Arduin. So the question is Alex Arduin burning up his tires, or is he managing the tires properly here at the Hungaroring? Because right now the track has cooled down by 1 degree Celsius, and it is just picking up ever so more as we see Irfan in the billboard of ACC in our screenshot. Definitely huge shout out to the billboard. Jake Johnson says, I want to see Liam McNeil. Sadly, Liam McNeil is not here, which is sad as we see Tyler Pedor. He's the first driver other than the 3 to dive into the pit, so that's definitely going to be an interesting strategy. Can the clean air help him in this run? Cole Bennett is not having the race of races that he is now serving a drive-through after possibly serving a 30-second stop-go. As car number 24, which happens to be Cole Bennett, looks like he pulled off and he is just calling it a day today. What a shame there by Cole Bennett. Definitely trying to showcase his pace and performance. He was looking super strong to finish pretty high up there, but kind of lost it out on that 30-second stop-go as we see. Now Casey Bennett is reeled in Michael Randall, and here they go down into turn 1, Porsche on Porsche action, and Andre Lloyd has reeled in the shufflers. So we have a 4-way battle with 4 Porsches for 4 spots, ladies and gentlemen, as we go through. Can Casey Bennett make it stick here with Michael Randall in the Amtrak? Super tight, the Porsche driver, the little back end snap on Casey Bennett here, and we have Andre Lloyd on Christopher Shuffler as these Porsche guys are trying to make it all work down this grid order here. Irfan still hasn't improved his time. Andre Lloyd, Aiden Hasbrock hasn't improved. Christopher Shuffler definitely trying to cover as much as he can with that Porsche. He's going super wide. That's going to allow Andre Lloyd pass due to that mistake. Casey Bennett still all over Michael Randall as that race is starting to develop. Your fastest lap right now is Mohammed Irfan with a 1:43.3. The next fastest is Alex Arduin with a 1:46. So these drivers are now hitting the qualifying times. A little bit of a wiggle out of Casey Bennett. We've got 33 minutes left to play, and we're almost halfway there, everybody. Now let's take a question. Irfan has fallen off a little bit. Aiden Hasselbrock. This is getting a little spicier, everybody. Question is, we have Casey into the pits. We're going to jump back up. Here comes Aiden Hasselbrock. Turns 3 and now up to 4. The Bentley is working its magic on this BMW. They are probably sweating to beat the band. We've got also Bruce Hopkins all over the back end of, where is Bruce? Bruce all over the back end of James Parks. Aiden Hasselbrock looking super strong, trying to recover as much as he can. The question is Carbonado, you're our track reporter, is Casey Bennett fixing the damage, or is he not, or is he just going to run out with the tires? That is the big question. As we see all the drivers work their way around the grid, as we take a look, we're going to keep following everybody. We're going to jump along board. Here is, looks like, he did get him in that move here as Aiden Hasselbrock takes a look on the inside. You can see him double pumping the brakes, try not to slide out as much and take out the BMW. Now Fulte definitely trying to cover over Irfan. Got Munoz in the attack, but Jaden has dived into the pit. Sean New, thank you for the follow. Sean New, ladies and gentlemen, is a newer driver to the league. He was going to be racing tonight, but he had a call, so we all wish him the best. Casey is going for the undercut on Randall. Now the question is, did Casey serve all of his damage, or is he going out there with a wounded car? And here comes Casey out of the pits. Question is I don't see any damage on the car. Let's take a look real quick. Nope, that's not who I wanted to see. Where is Casey Bennett? Casey Bennett is coming through. Does not look like, it looks like he served the damage. He did. He got that baby fixed, so now he's going to be flying. Munoz off. Munoz actually dove into the pit, so he's serving his pit. That allowed Irfan past him in this race here, so he's probably going to try to undercut Irfan in this series, but the question is Irfan is setting very fast lap times, but his last lap time was a 44.4. So if Jaden can make it work, he can make something happen. Cat said Munoz is investigating the grass. Munoz left off. Irfan got him. Munoz in the pits. And here we see we got, looks like Munoz is out of the pits. Parks is in the pits. So now Munoz is going to be the man to see where everybody's going to be sitting here in this pit rotation, as Aiden Hasbrock still trying to work his way around Fulte here as they work their way through the grid here. I just want to say a huge shout out to all the viewers and you guys supporting GT Meister Racing here in this race. It's truly an honor to have you guys here watching and following. Definitely take a definitely check us out on Sundays when our Xbox series is running. It's definitely going to be interesting. Josh Piaski dives into the pit. Parks is in the pit. So Munoz is down to P12. He's got 12 seconds behind Louis Bernard to try to work up the wall. Aiden Hasbrock sends it up on the inside. Enough to squeeze. Can he get Fulte, though? Look at that gentleman driving right there. Ooh, as they tap doors down the back straight here up to turn 2. Down into the heavy braking. Aiden's going to try to pinch it, but Fulte covers him. Ooh, Fulte squeezes it, sending it a little deep on Aiden Hasbrock. Aiden Hasbrock having to try to wrangle in that big old Bentley, even though technically, for those that do not know, Randall with a track limit warning of 3, number 3. So Randall may be our number 1 driver with a drive-through based off track penalties, ladies and gentlemen, based on the track reporting of Harbinato in the chat. So this is definitely going to be looking like a spicy meatball here as we see Andre Afonso in the pit. Andre Lloyd. Ooh, Fulte getting off the track. Fulte with a drive-through. Oh, this is going to mess up his race. Ooh, this is going to be an interesting one. If I'm correct, in ACC, you have to serve the drive-through first before you can serve the pit, your pit stop rotation. So this is, here comes Aiden Hasbrock. He's going to want to try to get past him. He doesn't want to get held up as much. As they come up into the hairpin, Fulte still knows that he can hold him off a little bit more. Irfan has now reduced the lap times of... Ooh, Fulte now dives into the pits. That's going to allow Hasbrock on the main straight. But now, so let's take a look here as I'm trying to recover. Wow, the speed into turn 2 looks wild on that camera. Oh, man. Drive through after a great display. Hey, man, it's part of the track. You got to keep it in the lines. It's just like coloring, Farmer. You got to keep it in the lines. As Aiden Hasbrock now trying to separate himself as much space as possible. Let's take a look. What other battles do we have on the track? Jaden Munoz, your P2, or provisionally P2, P3 driver, sitting there P10 trying to set in fast laps. His fastest lap was a 43.8. His pit lap was a 2:42.6. Excuse me. Oh, Fulte with a 30-second stop go. Did he speed? No. LaRock is in the pits. Andy Ollie is in the pits. 5 and 6 is in the pits. Shuffler is going to jump into the pits. P9. Yort says, sorry, don't feel well, so I'm going to just watch. Say that is perfectly fine, Yort. Welcome to the stream. It's pretty interesting to see you watching instead of racing, but it is, oh my God. Casey is on third warning as well, and Casey Bennett is on the third warning as well in the Porsche, so the drivers are definitely having to try to be cautious here. The track of an endurance race here in tonight. Ichigo says the Bentley put the pressure on the BM and got the reward. Shame for the Beamer. That is a shame. Now Fulte's going to have to serve that 30-second stop go. So hopefully he can recorrect his fuel strategy or try to figure something out. And now your leader is in the pits. Aiden Hasbrock is going to be diving into the pits as well. So now Mohammed Irfan, the NSX driver, your winner last week at Zolder, is going to have to try to bang out bangers right now to see and try to capitalize on Alex Ardoin. He has an open track until he catches Andy Ollie, and Andy Ollie is going through turn 2 as they work their way through turns 2 and 3. Fulte, man, 30-second stop go. He's going to be diving into the pit. Randall, he's got a little bit of damage on there. Randall going super wide. He's going to be staying out. He's going for the long strategy. Let's take a look. Who else is developing? Munoz now. He's going to be P7. He's coming around the final couple corners. Where is he going to be sitting? Where's Ardoin? Should be coming out of the pits here shortly. Tires going. He is rolling out, ladies. He's in pit strategy slot 1. As he works his way down. Here comes Jaden Munoz. Here's the battle. Could he have leapfrogged Alex Ardoin? And it does not look like it. Going down into the turn, he manages to succeed. Hasselbrock, he does leapfrog Hasselbrock in the pit strategy. Fulte sadly serving that 30-second stop go. Oh, man. Oh, he got his pit, though. That's good. So he's still going to have to work his way around and have to serve that 30-second stop go. So at least he's got the fuel in the tires. You pronounce Fulte as Fulte. Emphasize on the E. Okay. Fulte. I don't... But here we have Louis Bernard, ladies and gentlemen. P4 right now without serving the pit, working his way through the grid. He's going to have Alex Ardoin in front of him. And he's got what looks to be Josh Piaski right behind him. Jake Johnson says very close. Thank you, Jake. Thank you. At least someone is on my side today. May not be tomorrow, but today. As we go through here. You know, it took me a while to get your name. But hey, hey man, I wish you the best. As Irfan is in the pits, Alex Ardoin coming through the final couple corners. The question is did Irfan have what it takes to separate himself? Let's take a look. There's Irfan. He's sitting in the pits. Alex Ardoin coming through the final corner. Irfan now working his way through. Here comes Alex Ardoin. We're going to jump onto Helicam. Onto the main straight. Here they go. Where is the NSX? This is going to be a massive battle for the... Oh, he gets him! Ooh, Irfan trying to make it stick. What a beautiful shot of these cars going around in Helicam. The track looks so beautiful here. The question is can Alex Ardoin keep the separation from Irfan here in this race to help him out? As we see Michael Randall, he is sitting there in P2, still is yet to pit. P4 still is yet to pit. We've got Fulte in P9. He still has a 30-second stop go, so he's going to have to take a big hit there as they go through. Irfan in. Will Gitman has got him. Spice. And let's take a look. Let's see what happens. Munoz now on the back end of Irfan. Now it's the Zolder moment. They're going to have to get through Josh Piastri, Irfan trying to take a look on the inside. Munoz definitely. Ooh, they gave him the door. Beautiful job. If people can hear me clapping in the voice chat. Beautiful job by Josh letting these guys through. Just keep the battle going. Isn't it Fulte Bennett? Yes, Fulte Bennett, yes. Everybody's a Bennett today. Ooh, oh, Louis. Oh, Louis' back end snapped on the Mercedes, almost killing Irfan as they come through here. Ooh, Munoz trying to on the outside, 3 wide. Louis is definitely trying to get through around the track to let these guys through. Munoz is now going to squeeze in. Louis trying to, weird odd spot in the corner. Are doing 19 seconds of damage after crashing into a wall. What a shame there. Ooh, are doing with the damage. Ooh, that's definitely going to be an interesting one. As now Joshua's following it. Now the question is, can Irfan take it back after losing it out with Louis' damage there? So definitely going to be an interesting one as we see Tyler Pedora down there in P17 putting the pressure on Bruce Hopkins, trying to work their way up, everybody. So this is a spicy meatball, I have to say. Irfan super super late on the brakes. You definitely see that NSX locking up, and it's pushing out wide there as they come down into turn 4. Now that everybody's made the pit, who is going to get a drive-through? Hopefully not a commentator curse. Just want to let everybody know that. As we go through here, let's take a look at Audi looking nice and tight, looking nice and clean. The NSX of Irfan, super racy all day as they come up to the chicane. That Audi utilizing a lot of that curb. Same with the NSX. That Evo 2 definitely looking the Evo 2 of the Audi is definitely looking very racy here. Very balanced. Doesn't look like he's been really stepping it out a whole lot. Ooh, Irfan losing it wide there. Louis Bonaro with the drive-through. So that's going to cycle some of your drivers up in the back of the pack further up. What a shame there. It's definitely going to hurt him. As we go through here, let's take a look. Irfan now trying to recover what he can with what he can here in this race. He's got 20 minutes left to play in this race. Look, see Aiden Hasbrock in the background trying to recover. Michael Randall going for the long strategy here. We're going to quickly jump up with him. And he is still, he's got Alex Arduin chasing him, but, you know, hey, even though he's got a pit, he is still leading this race, ladies and gentlemen. So he doesn't have to do with anything. Louis gets a drive-through. Yes, Louis gets a drive-through as he, what a shame there for him. But hey, you know what? It's definitely a tough track. Alex Arduin squeezing past Randall. Randall knows where he's at on the track, but there you go. And here we have Irfan and Munoz here battling it out. They're going to have to try to squeeze past James Parks here. James does a wonderful job. Hopefully they can hold off by the time they catch James onto the back straight where James can pull off and let them through here. That would be a wonderful thing. And here comes James. James coming through the S. Munoz definitely getting a run on James here out of the back end of this track here. James pulls off to the sides, allows the drivers through as Louis Bernard serves his drive-through penalty. Munoz says on board with Munoz. The way he is braking is pretty neat. Oh, here comes the drive-throughs, ladies and gentlemen. Joshua Piaski getting a drive-through in the back there. The limits of this track is definitely pushing himself. Looks like Randall has dove into the pit, so we'll definitely have to keep an eye on where he goes through. Louis Bernard serves his pit as Tyler Pedora is battling it out, and here comes everybody. Fulte still has yet to serve his 30-second stop go. Louis Bernard still, he's going to have to try to recover. He's sitting on that P15 spot. He's going to have Alex Arduin right in front of him. So right now, 2 and 3, nose to tail, and around the bend they go. Irfan trying to make something stick. Let's take a look on the dash view of Munoz as he works his way through. You can see that white and purple NSX all over the back end of him as they come through the S's. Louis Bernard is moving out of the way, allowing Munoz through. Here goes Irfan. Beautiful job, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes, you know, you got to figure out the easiest way to let some of the drivers through, and that was probably one of the best ways through that Louis possibly could have ever done there. Huge shout out and congratulations to him. Let's take a look. We have Casey Bennett up to P11 based on our news reporter Carbonado in the chat. Let's jump down real quick and take a look. And let's take a look at Tyler Pedora here as the Aston on Aston action as they, that's a tongue twister. I request that you guys try that at home, saying Aston on Aston. As the battle continues between the two Aston Martins as they go into turn 1. Tyler Pedora definitely having a wonderful race as a start off here in the series. It's a huge shout out to him coming over to the PC side and giving this a shot. Let's take a look, jump back up aboard. Irfan here, as he's trying to make everything happen. We're going to lie along board right behind him and allow me to catch him a little bit of a breath here. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That battle of Irfan on Munoz is developing, as well as the battle between Casey Bennett and Andre Alex Afonso. Irfan sending it super wide. We're going to jump down real quick and take a look. Here is Casey Bennett in that red Porsche as he takes the battle on with the P9 driver of Alex Andre Afonso, and around the bend. Here they go through onto the little straight short chute here before they reach the fast right into the double hairpin as they work their way through. You can see the brakes on that Porsche super tight as they work into the hard braking zone. Farmer says, man, this is going to be wild. I think Munoz will catch Arduin. It is definitely going to be wild. Munoz now 2.9 off the pace of Arduin. Irfan is still there but now we also have this battle for P9. Still, Bruce Hopkins and Tyler Pedora battling it out for the 1 point in the championship battle that they could use to move up a huge shot. Cat says this end is going to be crazy sad. I missed this race. Here they come through. Fulte still has yet to serve the 30-second stop go that he has. Down and around the bend they go here. Casey Bennett all over the back end of the Lexus. Ooh, Louis Bernard with another drive-through. This track is definitely going to be an endurance one for everybody, and it's definitely going to push everybody to their limit. Here they come through turn 5, wide bend. Casey's going to try to get a little bit of a wrap here. Doesn't look like Casey's going to get him coming up into the S's. We're going to jump along board with the leaders here real quick. Still all over the back end. Irfan taking a look. Now they're 2.8. They can see Alex Arduin all the way out there. Looked like Irfan got a little bit of a wiggle. Now he's going to have to reset in here as they come through. Down the hill they go. Ooh, Irfan trying to recover as much pace as he can. Did he overcook the tires in the NSX? And how much can he try to recover with overcooking the tires? And around the bend they go. Ooh, now 2.7. Munoz is from Arduin. He took about a 10th out of there. Casey Bennett still looking super strong. Let's take a look. Where is Casey Bennett and Andre Afonso? They are on the front straight. Casey looks for it. Does he send it up into turn 1? Doesn't. Andre covers it over. Ooh, he is really pushing that Lexus to the limit. He's going to have to try to switch back or cause him to cover the whole inside of the track. Down into the braking zone. Can he get the switchback on the Lexus driver? He is just pushing the Lexus driver to the limit here as they work their way through. Irfan 4/10 off of Munoz. So that battle for P2 in this race. Looks like Munoz lost a little bit of time. Now he's 3 seconds back from Alex Arduin as we're now starting to see P9 duke it out. Pedro is close. Pedora is close too. Hopkins in that P16-15 battle spot zone. And now Lloyd on Shuffler. We are now having a four-way, about almost in. We're having a Porsche and Lexus battle and a Porsche on Porsche Lexus, a Porsche on Porsche battle with Andre Lloyd now and Shuffler here in this fight as Casey Bennett is still working his way. Ooh, covers the brakes. Can he get the run out of the hole? Andre Lloyd trying to cover the inside, parking his car in the middle. Casey Bennett, ooh, having to cover. There, Andrew Jaschke, that's a drive-through, ladies and gentlemen, for the track limits. That's going to allow Hopkins to slot up into the point standings as they go through here. Irfan still 3/10. And around the final corner, Casey Bennett trying to get past the Lexus driver. Onto the main straight. Here they go. Casey Bennett covering down on the inside. Fonzo trying to break that draft as they switch back and forth, left and right. Let's take a look. Where is Tyler Pedora? Ooh, Alex Afonso overshoots the corner. That's going to allow Casey through. Pedora looks like he lost a little bit there on the time with Bruce Hopkins there. So now that's going to allow Casey Bennett past Alex Afonso. So now we're going to slide back up to the front battle here of Irfan on Munoz. Still nose to tail. These drivers are probably going to need a vacation after this as we start to see. Oh, okay, so they had to work their way through the grid. Bruce Hopkins is now in front of him. Irfan can capitalize this on if he can here in this race here as Andrew Jaschke dives into the pits to serve his drive-through. Randall now gets a drive-through. It's going to be a cycle fest here for these drivers. Oh, what a shame there. This is going to be a close one here. Ooh, this is going to be a spicy one. Farmer, if you're still watching, it's not just spicy in the front of the race. It's spicy in the back with the drive-thrus and the track limits as we watch these drivers battle it out. There's Bruce Hopkins right in front of him as they're approaching the S's. Here, Louis Bernard gets disqualified. Ooh, what a shame there on him as they work their way up the grid and into the chicane. Here they go. Ooh, Munoz covering the brakes, trying not to put a little too much pressure on Bruce Hopkins until they come out of the S's. Here comes Munoz. Can he get the run out of it to get past Hopkins? Here's Hopkins right in front of him. Munoz is looking on the inside. Down into the corner they go. Here, Hopkins is probably going to let them through. Coming up right here. Here they go down into the hairpin. 1 and 2 and 3 make it through. Hopkins has to take the wide round. Ooh, Munoz looking super tight on that bend. Irfan still trying to make it happen and stick. They're going to have Alex Arduin right in front of him. They managed to bring him down to 2.7 seconds. That's going to slot Pandora up into P15. Hopkins 14. Randall 13 with a drive-through. Now, not to mention the 30-second stop go that Fultey's going to have to serve. It's going to shoot them further back down the grid. Ooh, Irfan now still trying to make it work with Irfan. Yort says, oops. Oh, Louis Bernard did not serve his drive-through. What's the fast time? Lap times in the front of the pack. The lap times are Munoz. His last lap was 144.375. Irfan with a 144.542. His fast lap is still 43.325. Munoz's fastest lap is a 43.850. Alex Arduin's average last lap was 144.407. His fastest lap was a 143.692. As we watch these drivers work their way in around the grid, is Irfan going to send it and make it stick? He's going to have to figure out something. He has 6 minutes and 50 seconds left to play in this race, everybody. He's going to take a look on the inside. 3 seconds still separates Alex Arduin from the leaders, from second and third, not the leaders, I apologize to everybody. As they come through, they can see him. He's within striking distance. If they can catch him, Ali is up 12 places. He's sitting there in P8, starting P20 after not getting a valid lap in qualifying. Down into turn 1. Here they go, nice and tight. Both of these drivers last laps. Munoz with a 44.8. Irfan with a 44.6. Arduin with a 44.5. Sector 1 is Irfan's sector. Sector 2 is Arduin's. Sector 3 is Arduin's times. Both drivers, second and third, are 0.3 off on each sector of 2 and 3 as they bend around the corner here, coming up to 5. This battle is developing very strong. Fulte allowing Wilson Fernandez through. He knows he's going to have a 30-second stop go. He doesn't want to hold up the other driver. Ooh, nice and tight. Will Randall serve his drive-through, or is he going to get disqualified? He's only got 3 laps. Irfan looking on the outside. Munoz cuts it off. Here they come through. Munoz now checking up on the brakes as they come through the fast S's onto the short chute. A little step out on the Audi. Here they come up to the fast right hand, up to the hairpins. He is making that Audi super wide. Randall with the drive-through. He's going to serve it now. Down into it. He's just lightly tapping the brakes just to keep the car settled as he works his way through. Lloyd now 0.8 off the pace of Afonso in that P11 spot. Casey Bennett, beautiful recovery. He is sitting there P9, working his way up the grid. He's probably going to get P8 at the end of this with full 30-second stop go. The leader, the 2 and 3. Ooh, you can see the brakes on that NSX. You can see it jitter in. You can see him definitely dig that brake in the corner. That's going to allow Munoz to get a little bit of a separation from Irfan, but Irfan reels him back in with that Honda NSX VTEC power, as our good friend Trinidad would say in this league. As they come through here, we have 4 minutes left to play. We have a yellow sector 2, number 67, Joshua Piask, as they work their way through. The McLaren driver definitely not having what he needs to, but he slotted himself up to P18. So that's definitely a good one. Ooh, catching the curves. This battle for P2 is just been raging all race here as we go through. Lloyd now 0.4 back off of Afonso. We're going to jump back down there real quick and take a look here onto the front straight. Here they go. He's also going to have Meister Shuffler up there. He's trying to get the big toe. Andre Lloyd trying to make something stick here. The P10, the P11 driver trying to make something stick on P10. Down into turn 1. Does Afonso shoots it wide. Here comes Lloyd. He gets a beautiful run. The acceleration out of the Porsche. Coming up to turn 2. Afonso's going to have the inside. Ooh, he allows him through here. Overshoots it. Now Afonso. Now here comes Christopher Shuffler. Christopher Shuffler in the GTMR Porsche trying to work his magic on Afonso here. Now as he comes into sector 2 in the fast left-hander. Catches the brakes. All the curbing as they come around the bend. Ooh, a little bit of a wiggle. Afonso playing in his car on the inside, covering up. Looks like the Lexus had to catch on the brakes a little bit. Looks like he was sliding and had to catch up there. So that caused Christopher to act a little bit wild there on the brakes there as they work their way through here. And around the bends, through the S's they go. The Porsche, you can see the Porsche looking super tight. That Lexus is just having a little bit of issues with that the Portugal driver of Andre Afonso. Definitely having a few issues here. Onto the little short chute back straight they go here, and around the bend here down into the fast right-hander here. Can he make it stick? We're going to switch back up with the leaders here in a second as this battle is developing as they go through towards the closer end, as Munoz is now 3 seconds off the pace of Arduin here down into the final corner. Can Shuffler make it stick? He's got a beautiful run. Nope, he checks on the inside, backs out of it. Now back up to Irfan. 1 minute, 40 seconds left to play, and around the second to the last hairpin they go. And onto the main straight. Here they go. Shuffler still 3/10 off the pace of Andre Alex Afonso. They're going to get a little bit of a separation between each other. Ooh, he did get him right there coming out. Probably 2 through 3 and 4 in there as they come down into the bend. But this is for the top spots, for the points. If Irfan can solidify this, it can give him enough points to bring him back into the championship. He lost 10 for missing 2 races, so he's definitely scratching to get points back here in this championship series. Now P5, this battle, it looks to be LaRock and Wilson Fernandez. Looks like it has diluted a little bit. Afonso still back. Irfan taking a look on the inside, coming up to the S's. Super late on the brakes, 28 seconds. Irfan is going to have to make something stick on Munoz as they come through. Irfan, he's got 2 seconds. It's going to be the end of the race. He's going to have to make it stick in the final hairpin, but he is not going to have enough space. He's going to try to send it here. Oh, he's getting the acceleration. Caught a lot of that curb. You can see the wiggle out of the NSX. Here he comes, final corner. Munoz catches it off of him. Here comes the drag race onto the main straight. Oh, are we going to have a 1 lap? No, Alex Arduin finishes top of the race. Munoz, P2, 3. Here we go through. Now we're going to jump back down with Andre Alex Afonso here as he goes super wide, trying to chase Shuffler here on this downhill piece as they work their way through. But Wilson Fernandez, he is looking, he was 7/10 back from LaRock here, coming up to the hairpins. Your 5, 6, and 7. But your P7 is going to get a 30-second stop go here in this race, which is going to shoot him back even further. Here they go through onto the main straight. There's your P5 finisher, your P6, and your P7. But Fult's going to serve a 60-second penalty for not serving his 30-second stop go. Here comes Andy Ali, your P7 drive. Technically 8. Looks like one of the drivers draw out. Yeah, Irfan jumped out at the end. Here he goes, crosses the line. What is that going to give him? It's going to slot him about 20 seconds. We'll have to see once everything gets shuffled towards the end. Andre Lloyd coming up to the final corner. Andre Alex Afonso as he crosses the line, and there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. And it looks like Fulte 60 seconds drops him back to P12. That's going to slot Andy Ali up to 7, Casey Bennett up to 8, Andre Lloyd to 9, Andre Alex Afonso to P10. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. It has been a pleasure to do this, and huge shout out to Alex Arduin for finishing, winning this race and being a part of it. I ask that all the viewers please keep watching. We're going to be checking out one of a good friend of mine's stream. We're going to just raid his stream. If you guys would more than happy to join me as we raid it. Just give me 1 second as I get everything set up. Here we go. We're gonna have a little fun today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching, participate. Definitely check out Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the race for Xbox, as they will debut their season at Silverstone, ladies and gentlemen. That is definitely going to be a amazing one, to say the least. That is. But yes, so definitely a huge shout out to everyone for being a part of this. It is definitely amazing. Let's take a look. Let's try this. For watching Participate, definitely check it out. Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The race for Xbox as they will debut their season at Silverstone. And ladies and gentlemen, that is definitely going to be a amazing one. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. Thank you guys for joining and being a part of this. It's been truly an honor. And let's head over there right now.